Greetings, fellow traders. Baldwin here. It's time for the Lunchtime Market Update for Tuesday, January the 19th, 2021. I hope everybody's having a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right. Well, let's take a look and see where we are at the market here today. So SPX is green. So we're up 24 points here today. Or so far. Monthly chart still green over the upper Bollinger Band. Weekly chart double inside week. So choppy day today if you guys are seeing it out there. There's a couple names that are moving. We caught a couple nice tactical trades today, intraday, but nothing really major trend moves right here, except for a couple names like Roku, right? We'll take a look at Micron in a little bit. A couple names like that are just kind of hanging out there. So our wave count seems to be holding up pretty well. We got back over the ADMA here and back into the channel, right? So we talked about that 1, 2, 3, 4 hold, right? We got a nice little push up right here so far. So the big stuff that we were looking at here today is the gap fill, right? And how we handle that going into the rest of the day. So we did get that. We got a nice gap up here this morning. We did fill the gap. You can see here on SPY, we did fade that. Low volume here today. So again, it's kind of emphasizing the amount of chop there that's going on out there. But let's take a look here at the S&P futures. Part of our game plan today was basically using the Friday highs as our gap fill. There was essentially a gap from Monday, right? It was a low volume, kind of half day on the futures. It kind of corresponded with the point of control, but you notice how we bounced off of that. So we're kind of leaning towards if we can kind of hang out up here a little bit for an end of the day push. Really, I'd like to see us get above these levels right here and then push above the overnight highs and try to get into this space on the S&P futures. But in the meantime, right, so still some pretty good stuff there. We did get the gap fade on that one. Could be working on a bit of a bull flag right here if you can kind of see this as we generally held the geometric line going into today. So let's take a look at the Qs here. The Qs gave us kind of a nice down move this morning. It got us short here on names like Apple, Snap, things like that this morning. But we're seeing a pretty epic dip by here in a lot of the big names, Amazon, things like that, going into the afternoon. So that could support that rally into the end of the day on the S&P. So we'll see how that goes going into today. The IWM just kind of chopping around right here. You can see on the hourly chart, we're just kind of hanging out here in the 15 orb range. And the XLF was pretty interesting as well. We'll take a look at Bank of America in a little bit. We also traded Wells Fargo on the short side this morning when things were weak on the XLF. But they bought the dip, right? So they got into basically our target area right here. They got to the after hours lows, and they ended up holding that, right? Nice inside 15 up to get back in the 15 orb range. So a very, very nice move there. Let's take a look at Apple and see why we like that short here this morning. Big upper shadow here off the highs, right? A nice 15 orb breakdown for a move. It got to our target level here, right into that pre-market area, just like the XLF. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla gave a nice push at the open, right? Strong push over the pre-market levels. Very, very scalpy type stuff. They got really tight and then gave a nice down move. And now it's kind of hanging into the 15 orb range. So see how Tesla holds up for the rest of the day. Snap. Let's take a look at this one. So Snap got really, really tight at the end of the day on Friday. We got this gap up here, and it looked fadeable, right? So I was generally maybe kind of leaning bullish up, but after Paul's wave count on it, I was like, let's kind of look at it on the short side. And it did give us a couple of nice opportunities. 15 orb breakout, the retest of the 15 orb in the ADMA for another nice move down on Snap today. Let's take a look at Wells Fargo. So Wells Fargo, I just like the shooting star candle off the highs. Again, the XLF was weak at the time, so that did give us a nice down move to the ADMA here, but it's kind of getting tight on Wells Fargo right there. Bank of America and Goldman Sachs had earnings today. So Bank of America, again, was looking pretty weak at the time as well, but they really bought the dip there off of that ADMA into that pre-market congestion. They did beat on earnings, so I'm not surprised to see it try to work its way up here, but tricky name to trade. Very, very tactical setups, right? Piton was one we liked right at the open on a bearish radar. I didn't see that they had a downgrade this morning, but it was gapping down kind of strange. And once I found they had a downgrade, right, that kind of gave us some nice momentum to the downside here today. And we also broke the 15 orb below, and we're kind of chopping down there today. So it's a little bit tricky, but keep Piton on the radar. It's been known for some epic dip buys. Lee is another one too. Gave a nice 15 orb breakout this morning. Again, the Chinese electrical vehicle names was one of the sectors with strength. And even though the SMH was weak today, MU is showing some considerable strength today. So again, that was one. A member pointed that at the open here. I like the inside day up, and we're kind of coming up back to all-time highs. So let's see how MU goes. That was also in the newsletter this weekend for relative strength. So nice stuff there. All right, let's take a couple of requests that we have. I'm sorry, that was the inside week. We pointed this out too in the newsletter for the inside week up, but a nice doji up here on the daily chart off of the ADMA. So good stuff there. Let's take a look at Lulu. Chart request out there. So Lulu, again, still pretty bearish. We're still below the ADMA. Again, they tried to push its way up to the daily cloud here, and it came back down out of it. Baidu, there's another interesting one. This had some relative strength this morning, but kind of calmed down after it got to that upper shadow area. So A little bit weak off of that one, but we'll see if we can get any gear up for any more strength on this one. So Chewy, Buddy's got the day off today, but it was a little bit of a down move there. So there, so maybe some other furry friends out there try to rally this one up. It's back over the 80 MA, so good stuff there on Chewy. Let's take a look at Facebook. Again, Facebook with an epic inside day up today. I like how we got back over the 80 MA right here. It gave a nice push intraday as well. It's having trouble getting over the pre-market highs. We like this one. We mentioned it in the bubble report this morning for showing some relative strength to possibly squeeze up, and it finally did give a move. It was a little bit tricky there today, but it did give a setup on that for the upside move. So another nice one out there. Roku, again, fresh all-time highs. What can we say? It's Roku. Still seeing some call activity in this one as it pushes. We'll keep an eye on it. One day it's going to roll over, but in the meantime, it's just been in this a freight train on the way up. XBEV, another interesting one right here. I like the 3-day down move. Let's see how it closes here today. It could get some strength off of that breakout candle, so keep an eye on XBEV going into the end of the day and into tomorrow. Nice chart request. So good stuff, guys. Really appreciate everybody's requests, and I hope everybody's an awesome rest of your trading day. We'll see you guys in the market wrap, and until then, stay healthy out there, and remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the